Hey everyone, welcome back to another tutorial on the iPhone series. Um, this one is going to be about troubleshooting your device when you have trouble with it. Um, for starters, every now and then you're going to try to use an app or something like that, say the camera. It doesn't matter what it is. You might run into issues where it's just simply lagging, it's not responding to things you want to do, things like that. Things are taking a while for the iPhone to do them. And the very first one I like to start with pretty much any trouble that I run into is open the multitasking. And you can do that by double pressing the home button. Don't mistake that for double tap, because that just double tap is going to bring your icons down. This is an actual button press. And it's going to open the multitasking, and I've gone and opened all these apps to show you what yours might look like. You're probably going to have a lot of applications running in the background, and so what I like to do if the phone is lagging or anything like that, I just open it up and close out all the stuff that's been opened, and just a swipe on each one should close it out. And some of them get rather stubborn at times, and but you just go through, clear them out, and as you go it should work a lot better. And then if you still experience the issue, if you've done that and you've opened up apps again and it's still giving you problems, I like to follow it up with the 2-button reset. Now on the 6S or older, you're going to be holding the power button here and the home button here. But here, this one's a 7 Plus, and so since it's not a physical button, they moved it, and all this is going to do is take screenshots. And it doesn't matter how long you hold it, that's all it's going to do. And so what you need to do on the 7 and 8 is hold the power button and the volume down, and that's what's going to get you that 2-button reset. And so I like to hold it until it completely goes to the Apple screen, and then you let go. And that helps clear out any memory issues you're having, any kind of glitches in the operating system. And so you just let that power back up, and you're going to have to put in your passcode again when you open it back up. It doesn't like to do the Touch ID on first boot up. So we're just going to let that boot. And this shouldn't take entirely too long. And then once we're here, we just enter in our passcode, and it boots back up, and it's going to continue what it was doing. And so the next thing I like to look for is, say everything else is working well. For example, you can open your photos and that'll boot, right? But anything that requires a network connection is giving you trouble. So you enter Safari, something like that, it won't pull up websites. You open the Facebook app, and it won't open Facebook. The next thing I like to do is go into Wi-Fi, and I'll just toggle it off and then back on again, and then try it out. If that still doesn't work, you have another thing to try. Now before you just assume it's just the iPhone, you might want to hop on something like another computer, some other device that's connected to the same Wi-Fi network, and make sure that it's not an actual network error. If that's the case, you need to move on to either modem or router troubleshooting and see what's going on there if you've got, say, a laptop that isn't getting internet connection. But once you've rolled that out, we can go in here in the settings under reset. Now we're not going to erase anything on the iPhone, and I'm not going to actually choose the option because I don't want to enter in my Wi-Fi password again. But you can choose reset network settings. It's a standalone reset that just clears out your network settings, and this applies equally for your cellular service as well as your Wi-Fi. And what it's going to do is clear out all those passwords. So you do have the downside, you're going to have to enter in your passwords again. But on the plus side, you could clear out things that are causing battery life issues or connectivity issues where you're just not connecting to the network. Or if it's slow for your device, but other people's devices are working. So that's another option you have there. And if you get through that and it still isn't working right, you have the next two options that are reset all settings and erase all content in settings. And those do exactly what they sound like. This one resets all of your Wi-Fi passwords. It resets your home screen layout, and you have that option down here. So if you're missing an app, you can't find it in any folder or on your desktop there. I guess they call it the launch pad or launch screen. If you can't find the icon, but you can search in Spotlight and find it, then that's what you're going to want to go with, is the reset home screen layout. And once again, this does have the downside. You're going to lose your folders. You're going to have to put everything in folders again, but you'll be able to find that icon. And another option, you could delete the app if that's easier, if it's just the one app, and then reinstall it. Now, that one does come with the problem you can lose saved data within the application, so you'll have to weigh the pros and cons of each option. And so those are the basic troubleshooting steps for regular connectivity issues and things like that I've mentioned. Now, when you're getting rid of the phone, you'll go to reset all settings, but not before you go into iCloud on the main settings screen. And you're going to need to go in here and turn off Find My iPhone. It won't let you do that until you turn this off. And this is the number one thing I've seen with used Apple devices that people have gotten rid of, that I've come across, is people aren't turning this off. This is a huge problem for whoever ends up with your device next, because as long as your Find My iPhone feature is on, the next person who has this phone cannot use it. So please, 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 if you're getting rid of your iPhone or iPad or iPod Touch or even your Apple Watch, make sure you've disabled this. That turns into a major headache for people. So now there are a couple of more things you can do aside from that. Number one, if you're concerned about losing your user data with those troubleshooting steps, for example, erase all content in settings, you go in here in the iCloud settings under iCloud backup and make sure that's turned on. And to make sure that you've had previous backup, you go up here to manage storage. And it doesn't look like that wants to work for me. Probably because it's busy installing apps. Let's see if this other iPhone is going to show that. So here under iCloud, manage storage, that doesn't want to show you. So anyway, in the manage storage section, it'll tell you when your last backup was. And I'll probably use my iPhone that I'm recording on right now to show you that. But yeah, it'll show you when the last backup was. If it doesn't have one, you can go in and tell it to back up now. And right here you've got the stop restoring iPhone. So that's probably why I'm not able to access my iCloud information on these yet. And so you would just do the manual backup under manage storage. And then otherwise, if you want a quick backup, this is the way I prefer, is you hop on your computer and you're going to go in to this main page. It's right here under summary. And if you're not familiar with iTunes, Yeah, it's gonna look almost identical between Mac and PC, but that's not plugged in anymore, so let's eject that and open this one. So this is what I'm on now, and so if you choose to run a backup, you just go in the summary and you just click on that to get to the iPhone, right? And you just go to the backup now. It's not going to do it manually, or it's not going to do it automatically when you first plug into the computer if you've got the iCloud backup on, because it assumes that you don't need an iTunes backup just because you're backing up to iCloud. But if I want a backup quickly so I can just get whatever I'm doing done, I'll go into iTunes and I'll run the manual backup. And as you can see, it's starting to work up here. This is your message window for iTunes. And you just let that do its job. Once it's done, it's going to be a virtual clone of your iPhone as it is. Once again, you run to the downside of your apps may not save your password for your login information. Hopefully that's not a big deal because you haven't forgotten your passwords. But once you're done, you can do your troubleshooting and restore it from the backup right here in iTunes. This is not going to save to iCloud, even if you're set up to iCloud backup. Do not mistake the two. These are separate completely. This one is saving on your local machine, whereas iCloud is a separate snapshot of your iPhone that's in the cloud. So don't mistake the two. You want to make sure you know the difference. And you're going to have to be plugged into the computer to restore from the backup, whereas from iCloud, you're just going to go from Wi-Fi. So let me know if you have any questions, any problems that this didn't solve. I can help out with those. I can make a video for those, demonstrating how to solve them. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if it helps you out. And subscribe to our channel if you find our videos useful, and we'll catch you on the next video. We'll see you then.